those securing the assembly complex being withdrawn with immediate effect. The OP News understands that the sudden withdrawal of security personnel has left the Speaker and legislative building vulnerable, sparking concerns over the safety of government officials and the assembly premises. Confirming this development, the Speaker's Special Advisor on Information, Victor Gonzalo, expressed deep concerns over the abrupt move, warning that it could expose Miranda to potential threats. He further emphasized the potential risks posed by the lack of security. According to Gonzalo, the Speaker is now vulnerable and open to attack. This is an unprecedented situation that requires urgent resolution. Despite the seriousness of the situation, neither the Lagos State Police Command nor the state government has issued an official statement explaining the reason behind the withdrawal of security details. This development comes hours after reports that Miranda may step down from her position, but only during plenary session. Sources also disclosed that Miranda insists on following due process and will only step down during a plenary session when the House reconvenes. Meanwhile, in a very recent development, the presidency has reacted to events in the United Kingdom's parliament on Wednesday between Conservative Party leader Kemi Badenoch and Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The Nigerian-British lawmaker Badenoch during parliament session stated that she was happy that Starmer heeded her voice on aid budget. Over the weekend, according to her, I suggested to the Prime Minister that the court the aid budget, and I'm pleased that he accepted my advice, end quote. However, in response, the Prime Minister Starmer said it seemed the Nigerian-British appointed herself as savior of Western civilization. He stated that Badenoch was desperately seeking relevance. According to him, I'm going to have to let the leader of the opposition down gently. She didn't feature in my thinking at all. I was so busy over the weekend, I didn't even see her proposal. I think she's appointed herself, I think, savior of the Western civilization. It's a desperate search for relevance. On his X handle on Thursday, however, the special advisor to President Bola Tinubu, Daniel Obala, in reaction to Starmer's words, wrote, "Sister Kemi, you see what we have been telling you, Abi?" End quote. Badenoch has consistently criticized Nigeria's governance system, accusing the government of being too corrupt. She also accused the Nigerian police of stealing from citizens instead of protecting them. Now, the former governor of Kaduna State, Mr. Nasiru Arafai, has accused the National Security Advisor Nuhu Badu of empowering bandits. Reports from an ex-user at Real Yusuf Tukuru has shared a report of a kidnapping incident in Kaduna State, where over 30 persons were kidnapped. In the post, the ex-user lamented that this report will not trend since at Arafai, the man they have sworn to hate, is not the governor. Well, the NSA at Rubadu is busy playing politics with security. Yusuf was reacting particularly to a recent incident where the criminal element attacked a community located in Kagaruko local government area of Kaduna State. Wakili Fulani of Janjala Ata Adamu Wakili, a nursing mother, and 37 other residents of the community were reportedly kidnapped during the unprovoked attack. Yusuf, on his post, Al-Rufai claimed that the kidnappers will be paid to release them early, and then the NSA will hand the victims over to the state government in colorful ceremony. Propaganda trumps sensible governance. According to the former governor, such moves empower the bandits financially, resulting in the purchase of more sophisticated weapons. The terrorists, thus further financially empowered, will purchase even more sophisticated weapons, abduct even more people in Kaduna State and elsewhere. That is a new modus operandi of the geniuses in charge of our state these days. End quote. Moving on to party politics, the All Progressives Congress governorship aspirant in Anambra State, Valentine Ozigbo, has reacted, or rather disclosed that his defection to the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, would help him fulfill his plan for the state. You'll recall that Ozigbo, who defected from the Labour Party to the APC last week, said he started seeing the Labour Party as worse than the APC and the People's Democratic Party. In an interview very recently, Ozigbo stated that his defection to the APC would guarantee his chances of winning the 2025 Anambra governorship election. The former PDP governorship candidate noted that APC, being the ruling party at the federal level, would help him deliver his promises to India Anambra. He said if he ran for the governorship position under a small party, his chances of success would be very small. Now, a Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja has granted bail to Professor Usman Yusuf, the former Executive Secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme. Now, Yusuf is facing multiple corruption charges brought by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The ruling was delivered by Justice Chinyere Inwechenwo on Thursday morning, though details of the bail conditions remain undisclosed. Yusuf was arraigned on 5 counts of corruption, including embezzlement, abuse of office, and unlawful award of contracts. The EFCC accused him of approving the purchase of a vehicle at an inflated price, far above the allocated. Additionally, he allegedly awarded a 10.1 million naira training contract to a foundation linked to him, despite only half of the intended beneficiaries participating. Another allegation involved awarding a 17.5 million naira media consultancy contract to his nephew's company without following due process. Following his arraignment, Yusuf was remanded in the Kuje Correctional Facility while awaiting the court's decision on his bail application, which had been adjourned to February 27. Despite the charges, Yusuf has dismissed the case as politically motivated. In a statement from detention, he accused the government of using security agencies to silence him for his outspoken stance on national issues. He pointed a recent speech at a youth summit in Bauchi, where he criticized the Tinubu administration's economic policies and alleged marginalization of northern Nigeria. Yusuf described his arrest as a Gestapo-style operation, claiming security operatives trailed him after the summit before taking him from his home without prior notice. He further alleged that while in EFCC custody, he was denied access to legal representation and his family before being transferred to Kuje prison. In detention, he was placed in the VIP section and encountered various inmates, including those facing terrorism-related charges. Reflecting on prison conditions, he remarked, "The conditions of Kuje prison reminded me of my boarding school days. The real criminals are in government while our youth waste away in detention." Yusuf also accused the government of orchestrating his detention as part of a broader crackdown on dissent, arguing that the EFCC's goal was to discredit and humiliate him. You're currently listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll take a very short break. When we return, we'll take more news, head into a news analysis segment while we're joined via the telephone with Barrister Eze Eluche. Barrister Eze Eluche is a political, national and social affairs commentator, also a legal practitioner. Barrister Eze Eluche will help give us his insights into some of the issues being read out on the World News at 12. Do kindly stay with us. At 12 right here in Voice of the People 90.3 FM. In more news reports, a resident of the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, in the Nasarawa area of Kano State, has remained sealed a day after growing tension led to the takeover by the police. Recall that on the morning of Wednesday, residents of Kano woke up to a heavy deployment of security personnel along the road leading to the Kano government house near the residence of Aminu Ado Bayero. Security forces also blocked all routes leading to the Nasarawa Emir's residence without prior notice to the public, which caused severe traffic congestion in Kano, particularly at El Nasarawa. few meters away from the government house in Kano. A statement from the Kano State Police Command indicated that the deployment was based on intelligence reports suggesting that some individuals were planning to unleash mayhem in Kano State. The statement further confirmed the arrest of 17 suspects. Also, an investigation revealed that as early as Tuesday night, videos circulated on social media alleging that members of the Kwankwasia movement, supporters of former Kano Governor Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, were planning a protest, especially concerning President Bola Tinubu's interference in Kano state affairs, particularly the ongoing dispute over the Kano Emirate. The videos claim that the protesters planned to march to the Kano government house via the Nasarawa Emir's residence. One Facebook user disclosed that the supporters of the 15th Emir were asking for protection over alleged threats. As of the time of this report, there has been no confirms or response from the Kwankwasia movement or the Kano State Government House. Security personnel remain stationed along the road to the government house, though they have responded one side for returning traffic while maintaining a blockade on the lane leading to the Nasarawa Emir's residence near Emir Aminu Ado Bayero, where he currently resides. And still on the world news at 12, there have been disclosures concerning the election of a new president by the National Association of Nigerian Students. Oladoja, who is a postgraduate student of the University of Jos, emerged winner after polling 300 votes in a keenly contested convention held at the Old Parade Ground, Abuja. He defeated Salahuddin Suleiman, a student of Yakubu Gowon University, and Gambo Abubakar from Ibrahim Badamosi Babangida University, Lapai in Niger State. Barrister Eza Eluche, good afternoon and thank you for eventually joining us on the World News at 12. How are you today, sir? Can you hear me? Seem not to hear you over the console. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Thank you very much for having me on.
All right, thank you so much, sir. First, let's start off with Miranda, the Lagos State Speaker. She has been stripped off of her police escorts. We already know what exactly has been going on in Lagos State. The GAC, that is the Governor's Advisory Council, initially told us that everything was calm and fine and there were no issues. But Obasa is stating that things must go according to process. He sued, he went to court. Now, so with that case, apparently conversations have been had between the leader of the party, who is the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and a couple of other stakeholders as well, that both of them should step down for another person to emerge. And it has caused quite a controversy as to what could be going on in the president's stronghold, which is Lagos, and the APC. For example, there are security concerns for the fact that all her police escorts have been stripped off. How does this make the state Lagos, and how does it identify the president's party formation specifically for Lagos that is his stronghold? What do you think this portends?
Well, let me clarify one thing. Mr. Bola Tinubu's stronghold is not Lagos.
Oh, really? Where is that, sir?
Listen, he lost woefully during the last elections in Lagos. So the reality is that by dint of Togri, the Oluomo concept of using the Union of Rail, Road Transport Workers and other thugs, he has held sway over Lagos. And that is what we see manifesting in the Lagos State House of Assembly now. The House has elected someone in the absence of perhaps Tinubu's preferred candidate. And then he's trying to use the federal might, withdrawing the police force, using Togri means to ensure that he doesn't in Lagos and that he continues to hold a stranglehold. Let us stop saying it is his stronghold. We saw the result of the election and it was very, very clear. Even the other opposition parties made it very clear that P2B won massively in Lagos. So the reality is that we are using the resorts to Togri to overwhelm the Lagos House of Assembly. We'll see how it plays out. Because, yes, this is the same people, this is the same political parties. They know how they've been dealing with themselves, and they're only now washing their dirty linen in public. So I don't have any mercy for any of the sides. If they like, let them withdraw the police escort. If they like, let them overwhelm the place with soldiers. That is it.
Hello, Barrister Eze. Hello? Barrister Eze, are you there?
This is not time to reap from their very, very bad seeds which they've sown.
All right, Barrister Eze Eriche, what do you think the potential major fracture? Because yesterday the National Executive Council meeting was held recently for the All Progressives Congress as a party, and they actually showed strong support. Majority of the governors, or rather majority of the strong party members, displayed their commitment and strong support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday. In fact, the song "On Your Mandate We Shall Stand." The president also said that there is going to be a setting up of reconciliatory committees for members who are aggrieved with the party and see how they can move ahead, while they all mentioned the fact that they trust his administration and will continue to support it. But with the current development in Lagos State, do we think that all that was said is just being said, but the reality is not what it is?
You are very, very right. They can stand on their mandate. Those same people that were singing "On Your Mandate will stand," we want to stand on his head when the time is right. So if he's having this kind of rumpus in the Lagos, where he's supposedly supposed to be his backyard, you can imagine what is happening in other states like Kaduna, Osun, Ogun, and other parts of the country. And I listened to Mr. President's speech. It was a tissue of life, where he boasted that the withdrawal of subsidy, he stands by it, that has tripled the amount state governments get from the monthly allocations, which is absolute nonsense. Because the fact is, the amount given to state governments by allocation, it will be pocketed by most of these governors. It was the fuel subsidy was one means which every Nigerian benefited from the wealth of Nigeria. Now you withdraw that one and you give us an excuse that you are putting that money in the hands of state governments. Go to the various states and ask them how much part of this tripling of the budget of the state has reached the people, has reached the grassroots. Go to Imo State and ask them. Go to Kaduna, go to Sokoto, and they will tell you that it's all crap. It's neither here nor there. So I know that the so-called 80 being showcased at the APC National Executive Council meeting is just a mirage. At the appropriate time, we will see the cracks that will emerge, that will lead to the defeat of this crop of characters at the next election.
All right, Barrister Eze Uche, thank you so much for that, actually. So another person that has been quite controversial ever since the interview that was organized on a major, possibly popular television station, which garnered quite the reaction in Nigeria's political landscape, then that person is El Rufai. He has made a fresh allegation. He accused Ribadu of playing politics with bandits. According to him, he's saying that there was a very recent abduction of 37 persons who are residents of a community in Kaduna State, and that apparently the way it is these persons are kidnapped. Nothing is done to release them. Money is exchange hand. These persons collect, the kidnappers collect money, and then the national security advisor has access to those people, reintegrates them to the community, and then it gives the bandits the opportunity to continue to be brazen. A lot of Nigerians have said El Rufai is just lashing out because he wasn't given any political appointment. So why do you think he's coming out now and being very, hostile and volatile? He actually said on that interview that Ribadu is not his friend. They've never been friends. They used to be friends, but now they're no longer friends because their ideologies in polity has changed, and Ribadu is no longer on the ideology of proper leadership. How do you react to this development, sir?
Well, we should encourage these characters in high political offices to keep on spilling the beans, to keep on telling us more about themselves, to keep on revealing their dirty secrets. Because for too long, we've known that this issue of banditry, of militant headsmen, they are instigations from the center to destabilize the politics for their own political goals. But then, does that give El Rufai any integrity, any rights to speak at this stage? El Rufai, as governor of Kaduna State, told Nigerians at a press conference that he traveled even as far as Burkina Faso, Mali, to pay these Fulani headsmen not to come and be killing people in Kaduna State. So he knew them. What did he do about them? He was rather giving them Nigerian money, giving them hard-earned dollars. So does he have any integrity to even make any comments on banditry now, when he's been supporting them and he kept a blind eye to the pains of the people of Southern Zaire? He destroyed the state, a state that was built as the bedrock of peace in the north. During his tenure, he virtually Islamized the state. He brought in a deputy governor who was also female. So what right does he have to now begin to talk that he has been schemed out of power, schemed out of government? But we should encourage people like him to keep on talking. Because when they keep on talking, we get to know more and more of these dirty secrets of these rascals who are holding higher political office in the country.
All right, thank you, Barrister. As Richard, let's look at Anambra State. The elections are coming up very close, and one of the individuals that has actually made the election for 2025 very popular is Valentine Ozigbo's defection to the ruling All Progressives Congress. Valentine Ozigbo is a strong supporter and loyalist of Peter Obi, and it shocked quite a lot of followers of the Labour Party, specifically the obedient movement of Valentine Ozigbo's defection. Now, according to Valentine, I don't know if you listened to his recent interview with Charles, he said that it was a strategic decision. He even said that the Labour Party is worse than the All Progressives Congress and the PDP combined. And he said he told Peter Obi about his chance to defect to the APC because he had an ambition. Now, he asked Nigerians, if you were me, what political party do you think will be able to let me lead and change governance in Anambra State? Obviously, he couldn't go to PDP because he says the party is already destabilized. The Labour Party, literally, according to him, is dead, moribund, infiltrated. And so, obviously, he doesn't have a potential chance. Which brings a question about these politicians. Is it about the ability and the necessity to serve, or is it for personal or selfish interest? And how do you think this will create that vacuum within the political career of Peter Obi and the obedient movements who are seeking for change?
Oh, thank you very much. The person of these characters, not just Mr. Valentine Ozigbo, like you said, but also the former spokesperson of the Peter Obi campaign, the actor, and also the former chairman of his campaign organization, the guy from Ogun State.
Yeah.
Puts to question Peter Obi's decision of ability to select people around him. It was clear that some of those people who were working around Peter Obi were just hangers-on, who were just trying to play along and see what comes out of governance. But it's clear that, like they say in the native language, the breeze has blown and we've seen the ass of the cock. These characters are being revealed.
You're referring to his first campaign DG, Doyin Okupe, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okupe, also the actor who's been jumping up and down from one to the other.
Kenneth Okonkwo.
Kenneth Okonkwo, yes.
Okay.
So these are the characters that Peter Obi unfortunately surrounded himself with during that election. And you see that at the slightest push, these same characters have jumped ship. So it makes you, perhaps we even begin to thank God that nothing happened. Perhaps people did not even get that chance, because these characters who have destabilized even the system. So Val Ozigbo can go about talking all the nonsense he's going to say, but by joining the APC, he has told us he's a chaff. He's a man of, he's a very weak character. He just goes to wherever, he will even dine with the devil. It will assure him of what he wants. That is most unfortunate. And hopefully, as we move to the next position, people will now go for the characters who have shown the constancy, who have shown constancy in all times. That good or bad, they have stuck with the truth. And rascal elements who people jumping from one place to the other because they are offered something bigger. But then Val Ozigbo will be shocked. Because at the end of the day, he will be exposed for what he is. Just a hanger-on that just tried to make the best of his time when he thought he had an opportunity.
Oh, well, the primaries have not been held yet within the APC for those who would fly the flag for the APC in Anambra State. So we don't even know if he would win, because there are others who were there before he defected. So what's a possibility that he'll be chosen? It almost seems like if he loses, he has lost at all fronts, because from the PDP to the Labour Party and now to the APC, despite all his explanations, it only spells one thing, that he has been looking for a platform to skyrocket his political career. But let's come back to the reality of the situation, Barrister Eze Eluche. Peter Obi himself, in his recent activities and philanthropic activities and talks for good governance, he has been representing himself as an individual and obviously being carried along with the obedient movement. He has not even identified with the political party he supposedly belongs to, which he was a presidential candidate in 2023. Does this indicate that there is something wrong with that party, that even the flag bearer in 2023 literally seems maybe ashamed of being a member of the party. So if Valentine Ozigbo decided to defect, a couple of other members who won with the ticket of the Labour Party in 2023, that's I'm talking about the House of Rep members, jumping ship to the APC. How do you question the situation with the Labour Party? And how will you advise Peter Obi to work ahead now? Because whether we like it or not, there is a tendency that he's coming back in 2027.
Well, the reality is this. It was known that from the moment the Labour Party was used by Peter Obi to conduct elections, the government in power will do all it can to destroy that party before the next election. It's out of the question, and almost clearly the PDP will also be out of the question because they are embroiled with so much confusion. But the reality is, in the next 2-3 months, Nigerians will Nigerians will watch out for a political realignment, and that is a realignment that will be needed, that will be used for this APC government power. And then the issue will be, will there be enough time within the space of 1 year or some months to do the coup? Yes, there will be enough time because Nigerians are terribly stressed up. It is hate with which this APC government has unleashed on the people. And at the time, Nigerians will be paying and looking for the next platform that will be used. If you recollect, in 2015, this was what the APC also did for the PDP. There was an amalgam of political interest. People use some candidates and then they won the election. That is what will happen also come 2027.
Hello, Barrister Eze. Are you there?
I am there.
All right, yes. So the 2023 presidential candidate, speaking of Peter Obi still, has denied any form of involvement in the annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election in Nigeria. And that statement, he made it on Tuesday, and it was through the spokesman for the Peter Obi media reach, Ibrahim Umar. He also denied participating in the June 12 political struggles. According to him, attempts to link him to any role in the annulment of the June 12 election is a pure handwork of blackmailers. Peter Obi clarified that he only supported and voted for the late MKO Abiola. The statement denied any allegation that Obi is linked to the Arthur Nzeribe's Association for Better Nigeria, which played a role in the election's annulment. All right. And obviously, at the time, according to the statement released, Peter Obi was not a politician but an admirer of Abiola, voting for him through his connection with the late former Senate President, Dr. Chuba Okadibo. So Obi also denied being a beneficiary of the military rule, clarifying that he never held any government position before becoming the governor of Anambra State, only that his interaction with administration of the former military leader Sani Abacha was when his petition on port congestion led to his inclusion in an advocacy committee for port decongestion, which lasted less than 4 months. Why are they linking Peter Obi to the June 12, 1993 annulment of the election that was supposed to bring Abiola into power? What exactly, why is that particular paradigm being floated out there?
Well, I mean, political experts will do whatever they can do or it is necessary to rally. So it's only expected. And the future is also expected. And only what I would have asked for, what would have been better is for him to have more people speaking on his behalf.
Okay.
And he personally always coming to make press releases and all that stuff. The reality is that those who are trying to link him up with June 12 are just like trying to grab at straws, thinking trying to grab at straws to himself or to push over Peter. But the reality is Nigerians who know enough of what happened in June 12 know that Peter was nowhere near that. They nowhere near the epicenter of that fight. Like most Nigerians was there, he had the affinity of for MKO, but all those who are trying to allege that he had anything or any interest in scuttling Mr. Abiola campaign, don't joke. In that case, the MKO Abiola ticket won in Anambra State during the election. That's the reality.
Barrister Eze Eluche, I sincerely do appreciate you taking your time to give us your insights into these issues. I thank you so much for being part of the World News at 12.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, Barrister Eze Eluche. I just finished speaking with Barrister Eze Eluche, who is a political, national, and a social affairs commentator. Obviously, you heard some of his insights into some of the issues being discussed on the World News at 12. And you can really realize that the potency of the situation has come to a conclusion where, based on what is going on in Nigeria's political landscape and the reaction so far, it is quite important for us to have an in-depth understanding or comprehension of some of these issues without any form of, would I say, adulterated comprehension of them. And Barrister Eze Luche had also given us his own perception to these issues. And before we go, let's take a look once again at the top stories. You heard that the Lagos Assembly Speaker Miranda has been stripped of police escorts. Also, Tinubu's aide has mocked Kemi Badenoch over Starmer's savior comment. RFI makes fresh allegations, accuses Ribadu of playing politics with bandits. Valentine Ozigbo discloses Labour Party worse than APC and PDP. Court grants bail to ex-NHIS boss Usman Yusuf. And finally, you also heard very recently concerning the inauguration of a new NANS president. Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Esther Nwachukwu. We'll be coming back right here at 1:30 p.m. Format strictly at 1:30 p.m. Do kindly stay with us and be part of the conversation. Good afternoon. Bye for now.